Hey guys! Thank you for joining us for another episode. It's episode
Yes.
3 of season 3.
3, yep.
From Blended To Besties.
We back.
That was my stomach.
Did you hear that? I was gonna say, I heard a little growl.
My stomach. I just ate. My food is digesting.
I love that for you. It's me, Megan, and her stomach.
I know. Oh God. And my cat's fighting in the background. So for those of you on YouTube who like to watch us, if you see that, I apologize. There's a new box in town, the Target box, and they have been fighting over it all morning.
Yes, the cat's gotta have it.
Anyway, so we are going to New York tomorrow morning.
I'm so excited.
Can we talk about this flight and who booked this flight? That's what I want to know.
We had no choice.
We had no choice. This flight, guys, and I'm not trying to complain because when my brother flies home from Portland, like he's literally on the airplane for 13 hours, so I can't complain.
Regardless.
Yeah, I'm still gonna complain.
The issue was we were trying to find a flight that gets to New York in the afternoon without it being like 8 or 9 o'clock at night because we have to be in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
And it was either take this early ass flight or take a later flight. And this flight unfortunately leaves at 6 o'clock in the morning just to get to New York at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, we have a layover in Baltimore.
Or we had the option to pay $600 to do like a one-way trip from Tampa from Tampa to New York, and I was not paying $600.
Yeah, that's just a little much.
I know, they're like, how badly do you not want to wait?
I know. I was like, I can wait.
Yeah, exactly.
Save me $400. I will wait. So yeah, we have to be up at the crack of dawn tomorrow morning, which we have not started packing.
Nope.
It is like it's noon here on Thursday.
Oh yeah.
We have a lot of films to do today.
I just did laundry last night. Didn't even put it away.
We have so much content because we've kind of been bumming this week.
And can we talk about really quick at the fact that we've done so many trips this summer, and every single time after we're done with the trip, I'm like, I'm going to do things better this time. I'm going to pre-pack in advance, so all I have to do is be worry-free in the upcoming days, and here I am again.
Girl, I literally just got back from Georgia this past weekend, and I could have just kept all my stuff in the bag. That's not going to lie. My toiletry bag is still packed, and I'm probably just going to bring that, which is low-key why I wanted to be like, are we checking a bag? Because I didn't want to like go through all my travel stuff and have to repack.
We get 2 free check bags though.
We do.
Southwest. For you. I know.
Hook your girls up.
Ew.
So yeah, we'll be in Baltimore for a couple hours. We're not leaving the airport, but I mean, unless we really wanted to.
Knowing our luck, we'd be the ones that miss our flight.
I know. And then coming back on Sunday. It's a quick New York trip, so if you see us out there, we're probably not there because you guys are hearing this next week. So,
that's true.
Sorry. Well, I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know.
So this week we are going to be talking about attachment items, and I'm fine. We're bringing this up because I'm kind of that like Michael and Bryce are just so different when it comes to these things. And Bryce, we're just like not struggling, but I don't know. I'm at such a crossroads with Bryce. Like I don't know what to do. So attachment items being like blankets, binkies, stuff like that. Bryce is 5. Okay, and when he was little, he had Lammy and Blanky. Remember Lammy and Blanky? It was a little lamb that he literally loved to death. The thing was like falling apart. And my freaking husband is outside. I'm so sorry, guys. He's mowing the lawn, so I can't even yell at him because then he's going to make me go do it.
No, girl, he's cutting wood right now. I don't know what.
Oh, he's in the garage?
Yeah, he went from like mowing the lawn to weeding the sides of the house, and now he's cutting wood.
Listen, man gets shit done, okay? So
oh, no, it's not wood. I'm sorry. Let me go back. He's using the blower. I'm trying to do the sound to what he could be doing. It's the blower.
Damn. Good for him, man. Anyway, so he had Lammy and Blanky that he would bring everywhere. Like everywhere. Lammy was falling apart. And when Bryce turned 3, we were like, Lammy's gotta go. So we took Lammy away, and he's just had like a weird attachment with blankets. We took Blanky away. Yeah. And so then like Blanky, he's has no problem giving anything up, and he wasn't like this with like pacifiers or bottles or anything. So we would take Blanky away, and he would be fine. He would find a different blanket.
I was gonna say he'd find something else though.
It was my fault. Like this started like last fall. It was my fall blankets, and I'd be like, okay. And then it got to the point where I had to take all the blankets and put them in my room. But then he found the Minion blanket. And I'm like, what the hell? So now it's like the Minion blanket he wants to sleep with every single night. And it's like random stuffed animals, like.
And I don't know if you noticed it, but you know that blanket's broken, right?
Oh yeah, girl, it's
It's
old as
like ripped on
hell.
the side or
Yeah,
something.
it's old.
I
Like,
almost offered because Michael has the same comforter and the blankets from when he was little that we had bought for him, and I almost offered the minion blanket that Michael has because it's basically brand new. Michael doesn't use it anymore, but also I'm like, he's starting to take his blanket everywhere, and I'm like, I'm not going to offer a new replacement so we could just keep going.
no, Michael has the same blanket. They each have one. And Michael's the reason the way we can tell whose is Michael's or Bryce's is all fucked up.
I know, it's just like
it's an old blanket.
Put in the work.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know, like, is it an issue? Is it not an issue? Because it doesn't seem to be with like one item. It's just like he just has to have something.
Yeah. I think a lot of people allow their kids to be attached to stuff and everyone has their own opinions about it. I'm so anti-attachment because I've seen from family and friends the chaos that happens when like that item is lost or destroyed or something, and just like the hell that the parents have to go through. And I'm like, it is not that serious. Like
when your kids have to go to school and like you have to tell them that they can't bring it.
Or like if like right now, if like Michael has a stuffed animal in his room and like the dogs tear it apart or whatever, Michael will be like, oh, like that was mine, but he's not gonna like be distraught over it like some other people who literally have to secretly buy the same exact stuffed animal in 3 or 4s because they're so scared of, getting it destroyed. Great for like a baby, I guess, to get attached, but like once they start getting older, you really should like force them out of it, because I know adults who are still attached to things, and it's like, you're how old and you still can't get rid of your blanket, your stuffed animal. Like, that's not okay. Like, it stresses them out, especially when they can't go somewhere with it, and then they start panicking. Like, starting young.
I don't know. There's like such a huge debate on like pacifiers too. Both boys, we did use pacifiers. Mostly because like I couldn't breastfeed and I felt bad. Like it's
like a comfort thing. Yeah.
And I didn't want them stuck in their thumbs. So I did the pacifier, but we took the pacifier away for both of them when they turned a year old. Same thing with bottles. Both of them never really had like an issue, like because some babies will like walk around just like with the bottle in their mouth, like when the bottle's empty. Was that you?
Yeah, my mom's. I was like walking and talking age still with a bottle because me and my brother were attached to the bottles, and my grandmother was very like, if they wanted they have it type of thing. Yeah. And she would always serve all of our drinks in bottles, and it was my stepdad that was like, they're getting too old to be having this. And we fought with it. We cried with our mom because we thought it was like so mean, and she was like, it's going to ruin their teeth if like our teeth are growing in and we're still on the bottles. And eventually like we were weaned off of it and stuff like that. And as I got older, I was like, damn, people really should be taking
this. Now you're still in the bottle.
It's a different kind of bottle though. It's a wine bottle now. That's what it is.
You know what I love is how you said, I'm really like anti-attachment, but anytime we go somewhere, Tiffany and I's first question is like, where are we going to pack our blankets?
I know, but I think that's more like if I don't have something super, super, like if hotels had extra soft blankets, I'd be great. Like I'd be fine. But the thing is, I've got to so many hotels with like not sticky, scratchy like blankets, and then like I'm awake the whole night because I can't sleep and I'm so uncomfortable. And I know every blanket I buy is extra fluffy.
Hell yeah.
So like that's why I don't think it's an attachment. It's like please make me comfortable.
Comfort need. No, I mean, like, I 100% agree. I have to have a blanket. It's not any particular blanket. I just need to have my own blanket because I don't like sharing blankets.
Yeah, you don't like sharing, and I like having super soft blankets.
My husband and I don't share a blanket in bed. If we're all sitting on the couch, my couch is literally covered in couch blankets because I will not share my couch blanket. And, like, sometimes my husband tries to, like, stick his feet under there, and I'm like, I'll give him a look. And, like, I think he low-key still thinks I'm joking, and, like, it's a joke. And I'm like, it's not a joke, though. Like, do not use my blanket.
He's like, we're together. You're fine. And Megan's like, no, hell no.
And I'm like, it's not a joke. You have, like, 40 other blankets to choose from. Let me have mine. You're letting my heat out.
That's how I feel with.
Leave me alone.
Megan has 2 white blankets that I confuse all the time, and she happens to either wear one, sit on the other one. So I try to like sneakily take one blanket, and then I realize when we touch skin to skin, I'm like, oh, it's the same blanket. And then I don't even have to say anything. You just look at me like you just touched me. Like it's just the fear in your eyes. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
And I'm like, the blanket. I'll feel my heat like leaving, and I'm like, someone is trying to enter my space right now. And I'll feel like your toes be like, and I'm like, this bitch.
I like accidentally just touch you, like barely touch you, like our hairs are touching, and then you just do, and I'm like, oh shit.
Like you got 5 seconds to get out of this blanket before you get a whole world of hurt.
I know, but then again, she's sitting on the fucking blanket, so how am I supposed to get it?
There's 15 other ones.
I know, but your cats are on the other ones. I'm not trying to fight them either. It's chaos trying to fight for these blankets, basically.
I know. There's a lot. You have to go to the other living room, and there's a couple more in the bins down there. But
imagine if we were like actually attached to our blankets, like
couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
without.
half the trips that we've gone to, we couldn't fit our blankets, and then that would be like us being like, no, we're not going, or that's us staying up all night. Like that's the anxiety that we would get if we were attached.
Yeah, we were talking about possibly auditioning for Amazing Race. But our thing was how many clothes do we need with my blanket in there? Like how can I bring my blanket and have enough clothes and stuff to go through the Amazing Race?
Girl, my thing was where can I plug in my sound machine?
I know.
I can't sleep, so I have such a going off topic for a bit. I have such an issue with like snorers. Like I can't handle snoring. And I saw that on The Amazing Race, like everyone basically like sleeps in the same area together. And if just one person is snoring, like I'm fucked.
I just can't sleep in like silence. Like I need some kind of noise. Like we have an air conditioner in our room that we run in the winter. It could be 30 degrees outside and we're still running that air conditioner just because of the noise.
That's what us with the fan. It wasn't until Mike told me that there's like a button on the fan that you can switch the way it goes and so it like moves the air. And I'm like, hell yeah. I had no idea for my 28 years of living that was a thing.
Yep, neither did I.
And it's dusty as hell because I never knew it was. I never knew it was there. So I don't even clean it.
Hack. We just cleaned the fans not too long ago, and there's like a super easy way to do it. But you can tell Mike that you're too short, and he'll have to do it.
I can't clean the fans. It has dust, and I'm allergic.
Oh yeah, I love that for you. How do
when people laugh at me, they're like, "That's not what." I was like, I'm legitimately like when they did the skin test, like I'm so allergic to dust mite or dust bunnies and dust that I don't dust our house because I'm so allergic. And it's like, I mean, I am.
So you'll live in the dirt. You'll live in the dust.
I can't do it. I can't touch it. It takes me out. If like I accidentally like my makeup jewelry used to collect dust all the time because I rarely wore makeup or jewelry in the past. And when I would open it, I'd be sick for like 3 days afterwards.
Really?
Yep.
I love that for you. I wish that was me. Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Again, back to Bryce. I just don't know what to do. I mean, he's not like he doesn't have to take it everywhere. Like he's not bringing it in the car to go to random places. It's like if he's spending the night at someone's house, it's like and he spent the night at your house before when he didn't have the blanket or didn't have the stuffed animal. But then I feel like he goes over to your house and like adopts one.
That's the thing. So he keeps asking, and then he'll get attached to one of our things. He got attached to the Minecraft character that Michael has in our house, and it was the only thing he wanted whenever he would come over. So that day that I texted you when you went for your birthday to Disney, that he was like, "Where's the Minecraft one?" And I was like, "Bro, like they're all gone. We threw them out because Mike doesn't use them." And he was like, "Do you have any other options?" And I was like, "I got one stuffed animal or nothing at all." And he took the damn stuffed animal, and that was the thing that he held on to. I'm just like,
so weird. Like I've never met a kid that like his attachment thing literally changes with his environment.
I know, changes with his environment, and he's so like. It was the minion that he got attached to in our house. He made sure, like, if he was chilling on the couch in the living room, he'd bring the minion thing too, just to sit with him. And I was like, boo-boo, we got like 5 people in the house right now, which is 5 spaces on the couch. Minion's gotta go. Because the minion's kind of big at this point that, like, he also kind of takes up a seat. So we can't be doing that. And he just can't not have anything.
Yeah, like, I tell him all the time, I'm like, pick up your blanket and stuff, go put it in your room. And like his minion blanket will be out on the couch. And he's like, but I'm using it. And I'm like, you're not even in the same room as it. Go put it in your room.
And Michael never did any of this.
No, Michael never. What's funny is the blankie that Bryce got super attached to was Michael's blanket. When Michael was little, like just learning how to walk, I have a couple pictures of him. He used to walk around with that blanket. But he just never really got attached to anything like that.
There was no stuffed animal Michael required. And I'm sure maybe because he went to 2 different houses, he never really like had anything attached to bring with him. But he never got attached to a stuffed animal. He liked them. He'd sleep with them. And if it wasn't in the bed, he wasn't whining about it. He's never had attached to blankets. He likes the blankets that we're using.
Yeah, he's always forever trying to steal
I know. I'll be with the blanket and he just slowly takes it away. And I'm like, you've got to be goddamn kidding me. But he never really got attached to anything that I can think of.
Me neither. Not really bad with the pacifier. Nothing really.
They're just 2 very different kids.
Yeah.
And I can't even say like it's an age thing because I know like firstborn kids who are attached to stuff. My sister's the youngest. She was also attached to stuff for the longest. And I think it's harder with like the baby of the family because I know my family let it happen because like she was so young, and they were like, just let her,
Did she have a blanket or anything?
She did. She doesn't anymore, but she did have it that for the longest time. She was having it until, almost hitting the double digits. And we were like, y'all need to I think when I was with Mike, she still had one. And I was like, she's getting too old for that. And they were like, just let her be, like, she's still a child or whatever. But I was like, you do not want her to be a teenager still having that. I'm like, you guys really have to cut the cord on that. I get that she's the baby, but like, where was the gentleness when I was a child, you know? Like, I would have been told to get rid of that shit real quick.
Grow up, Tiffany.
I know, exactly.
No, you know what's funny though is so with Lammy, what Bryce used to do is it was actually like around his tag on his butt. That was where it was like worn out the most because Bryce used to sleep in bed and he would just do he would rub his fingers together and rub the tag. And he would do that for hours to the point where the lamb literally had like holes and the tag was like so worn you couldn't read it anymore. It was so disgusting. And so I was talking to Daphne about it. And apparently when Travis was a baby, Travis would do the same thing with stuffed animals. Like he would just rub the tag over and over and over for hours and hours. And I was like, that's so crazy because Bryce does it too. And it's not like Travis was like, hey, try this out. It's great. He just did it on his own. So I was like, I wonder if it is like
a genetic thing.
Yeah. Like
or some sort of comfort.
Because Bryce or Michael never did that. I never rubbed tags until...
No.
But I know a lot of babies must do it because when I was at Babies R Us one time, I saw a toy. And actually, I bought it for Michael. It was a little square rectangle, and it just had tags on the outside that babies could...
Really?
Yeah. But obviously, I guess I should have got it for Bryce. But I don't think we had
so
Babies
funny.
R Us when Bryce was born.
Nope,
Babies
that shit
R
was
Us was already gone. Which was trash.
I love that.
But which brings us to point number 2. We wanted to touch on socializing your kids.
Yes.
So the way that I did it, like socializing your kids versus daycare versus I guess we'll just start with babies. So babies. Some people are very against bringing your babies around other babies because your baby will get sick.
The babies against babies or babies against people?
Oh, babies against babies. Babies against the world.
So I had a friend, she just gave birth maybe a week ago. Before she gave birth, she did this whole Facebook announcement, basically saying rules about the baby because she's like, everyone's gonna want to come over. Yeah, she did it so respectful. I wish I would have screen recorded it. The way she did it was really nice.
But she posted on Facebook?
Yeah, because I guess so many people were like, I want to see the baby and stuff. It was the easiest way for her to announce, if you want to come over and see the baby. These are the rules, though.
Okay.
I love the rules, actually. I think it's the best rules I ever seen because some people do be dramatic with some of the shit.
I know.
I'm not wearing no plastic bag over my whole body just to see a damn baby. I'll just wait till it's a year old. But she said her first rule, which I'm not going to say her name in case she just watches this. Her dogs came before the baby. So she said, when you do come in, please just greet the dogs because they're probably going through an adjustment.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I love that. I was like, damn, I didn't even think about that. But definitely greet them, acknowledge them. Because I'm sure that might make things, I've never had a baby around the kids to know how, or the kids, baby around the dogs to know how the dogs are, but I'm sure it might freak them out that they go from getting so much attention to nothing at all.
Being pushed past, yeah.
So she said, greet the dogs before you come in, which I thought that was super cool. The second thing she said is if you're sick or have allergies, even if it's just something to the trees or grass, just please stay home regardless. Come back when...
Because you don't know.
Yeah, come back when you don't have allergies. Wash your hands, I think was the third rule. The fourth rule was... if you smoke, she had a pair of big shirts in the laundry room so people could change and stuff like that, which is such a big thing. I don't think people realize how much it's a big thing. I don't care if people smoke or not, but if I do have a baby, you can't withhold smoking for a day to see the baby. Don't come over.
It's not even smoking. Okay, so we did the same thing with both kids. Because I did have, and still do have people in my family who smoked. It was, if you can smoke, okay, but you're not smoking before you come to my house.
That's what I'm saying.
Shower at home, you get ready to come to my house, you come see the baby, and if you need to smoke,
leave.
You're gonna see the baby, hi, what's up, hold off, and then you don't touch the baby again. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna have my baby smell like smoke.
One, my allergies flare up with smoking as it is. And
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to tell people how to live their lives. Do whatever you want. I don't care. But if like I have a baby in the home, like you're not going to just smoke a cigarette before you come into my house. You can hold off for a few hours. Like just do it if you that desperately want to see the baby. But the minute you start, even if you did at 8:00 in the morning and came to my house at 2:00 in the afternoon, like no, because your breath is going to smell like smoke.
Your hair,
you're going to smell
your
like
clothes,
smoke. Like, ew.
like it's not just like even. So Travis and I went to a bar a few months ago, and it was one of the first bars we've been to in a long time that you could smoke inside.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis and I don't smoke, so we came home
like covered,
reeking of smoke. My hair smelled like smoke for days.
Mm-hmm.
There's
that
no
shit
way.
stays with you.
It does, and I don't want my baby smelling like that. I don't want, so you can shower at home, not smoke, come over here, wash your hands, because everyone has to wash your hands, whether you're a smoker or not, before you touch the baby. Touch the baby, hang out, and then if you gotta smoke, then
yeah. And then her last rule was no kissing the baby, which I'm gonna bring this up just for a quick second. I've never had any babies of my own. I didn't know Michael, and I didn't really hang around with Bryce. I didn't really like touch or like really played with Bryce when he was a baby because we were still like newly talking. But I've never, like, even with Corinne's baby, who's my best friend, like I never had an urge to like kiss someone else's baby. Like I know people do that because it's like a loving thing, but like that's weird to me. If it's like even like Bryce, like, and I thought Bryce was the cutest little chunky little Michelin looking baby. I never had the man. If I could just kiss him right now, like he was still not my baby. Like I feel like that's something that only parents should be doing, and it's just like really weird that like you have to tell people don't kiss my child.
When I worked, when I worked for the oral surgeon's office, I was lucky enough to bring Bryce to work with me every single day. I went back to work after 2 weeks, and I would bring Bryce to work with me every single day. And I used to work with a doctor. He was, I can't remember what his nationality was.
The doctor?
Yeah, he was like an intern doctor. I remember his name, but I don't want to say it. He was from the Middle East. I'll just say that. And he used to every single morning he would come in and he would ask to hold Bryce. He would pick up Bryce and he would smell him. The top of his head. And no, that was like a very like common thing to do over there. He said it was like
the baby smell or something?
Yeah, the new baby smell. He did it up until Bryce was like 6 months old. And then
interesting.
And then he was just like, he's like it releases, he said it released endorphins or something like that. Like the brand new baby smell. And it was like very common for them to do it over there. Huh. And a lot of people would do it. They would ask to smell Bryce's head all the time. Like not even just him, like other people. I'm just like, sure, you can smell my baby's head. Not kissing the baby.
Well, smelling also isn't like you're just if you're sniffing the child, I guess. I mean, I don't see an issue with that. But the whole like people kissing like other people's babies.
Yeah, I had a couple people in there because mind you, like Bryce was like the office baby. Like everyone while I would work, they would pass Bryce around. Like Bryce got to know all the girls. He was in the back sometimes. He was upstairs with someone sometimes. Like they would just come by and just pick him up if they saw I was on the phone or whatever.
I know that chunky
to the point where he was.
I
know. And then I had him with me almost every single day for a year. So he learned to crawl there. He learned to walk there. Like, so he would be all over the office and people would, when he was a tiny baby, there were a couple girls that I'm still friends with and I didn't mind because I knew them pretty well that, they would hold Bryce and give him a little kiss on the head and random people. I don't know. I guess it's just, I'm not 100% okay with the whole kissing thing. I would have to know you really well. Like, if you're coming over with like my brother's, not any of my brother's girlfriends, but if I didn't know you and you came over and you were like kissing my baby on the head, I'd be like, no,
don't do that. Keep your lips to yourself.
And I think COVID changed my views on a lot of things too.
I agree.
As far as that.
I think even with COVID, like I would even be like, just us to limit, like us as parents to like limit ourselves from doing it because you don't know what you have either. Like just let the kid at least make it a few weeks. Like I think they say it's a couple of months before it's okay and they're not as in danger and at risk than a freaking newborn baby. But it just amazes me with like how many people have to say that because it's like, just like I remember Mike's bringing up before how he said when you used to be pregnant, people would try to touch your belly and women always saying like random people would just grab up and touch other people's belly. Like why though? That's like
that happened with Bryce too.
That's so odd to me. I've never seen like any pregnant zero pregnant women I've ever, even when you were pregnant,
Yeah.
I had no desire to be like, let me touch that belly.
Everyone would. And I mean, like, I totally, but again, me being like super indecisive and seeing both sides, like, people that I knew, friends, family, Travis's family, like, especially it being the first grandchild, they would just come up, not even ask.
Yeah.
Just come up and start rubbing my belly. And I'm like, I understand there's like your grandbaby's in there, or your cousin or whoever it is in your belly, and you're so excited. But at the same time, I'm like, it's my body.
Yeah.
Like, you would never just like come up to someone and be like,
I know.
or
it's
whatever,
weird,
you know,
yeah.
like it's weird. Like, please. And then the random people, girl, it used to happen the older generation would just come up and just touch your belly.
Really? Girl, I'd be throwing hands pregnant enough.
I think with Michael, it happened a lot more with Michael. With Bryce, I was working full time, so I was always like sitting at a desk or something. So it didn't happen as much, and I became way more of a recluse.
Yeah.
It's when my anxiety, was at its peak. So I wasn't really leaving the house a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was pregnant with Michael, I was very, 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 very sick with Michael, so I couldn't work the latter half of my pregnancy. So I was doing all the errands and stuff while Mike was in school, and he was working 2 jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, people would come up to me all the time, and I think I was just so in shock that I just didn't know how to respond.
When we would sit down and he's like, this is something that I'm really big on. He's like, so many people did this to Megan. And he's like, I'm not afraid to just slap people's hands away.
Yeah,
like,
he would. He'd be like, pop, like, don't touch my wife.
I was like shocked. And I was like, really? People like you don't know? He's like, yeah, they would just go. He's like, not even like a hi or hello, but like, that's the first thing. I'm like, that's the baby. So weird. Like, and I'm very like blunt and honest. Like, I dare someone to try me and I will be the one who loses my shit and be like, who? I'd be like, I'm not even pregnant, like 9 months fully thing, and be like, what are you talking to my fat ass for? Like, call them out.
Just like you're not even pregnant, you just put on some pounds, and like the old people just go up and touch your belly.
I know.
I think maybe that's why there was such a big, I don't know if it's slowed down a lot. I haven't been pregnant in a long time, but you don't really hear too much about that anymore. Maybe it's because
I think a lot of people are more open and adamant about like, it's my child, like don't do
touch
this.
Me.
Yeah, exactly.
I was to the point where I almost got a shirt that was like, do not touch.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was really bad.
I think a lot more people are very strict with their rules now compared to in the past. Because, in the past, you'd be like, it's family. Like, it's okay if the family's telling you to do this or that. And now people are like, it's my child. I don't care if you're family. It's my child now. Mm-hmm. And I think that, like, generation of, like, really putting your foot down is helping to, like, not make it as awkward. Because I'm sure everyone's always like, I don't want to upset them. And, they raised me. Like, they know more. And, like, now everyone's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, this generation is more like, self-care, self-worth, like
it's my life, I'm gonna do it. Yeah,
I'm not gonna do things just to make other people happy, which is great because that's how I like to live my life.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree, because I mean, even like as silly as like when Mike and I used to talk about like what baby names we would want to pick, and we would like just casually tell family like if they were around in the area and they're like telling us, no, you should use this and that. And I'm like, I wasn't asking.
I know,
like,
I'm telling you what names I like.
These are my ideas. Like, this is what we may come up with. Like, you don't get an input, no offense. Yeah. And I'm like, and this is us hypothetically talking, and y'all are telling us yes or no. And I'm like, oh, y'all gonna learn the hard way. Like, I know they already know how Mike is, but it's like they're slowly learning that like I'm the same way and I'm more like blunt about things, and it's like, oh no, like you don't get to do that. What do you mean? Like,
I think you're such a Gemini. You're either like, I don't want to say passive, but you're very like accommodating. You're just like, yeah, that sounds great. Or you're very like,
yeah,
no.
Yeah. And I think because so many people now are invested, like family and friends, and like me getting pregnant and having a baby, and I can see them all wanting to be like extra. And I'm like, damn it, there's going to be just so many fights. So many people have like, please don't stress me out. Everyone's like, even now, they're like, you should do this to get pregnant. You should do that. And it's like, stop telling me what to fucking do. And I'm like, if I have to go through that, like during the pregnancy of what they want me to do, and then afterwards I was like, I'm just going to be like, I know it took me a while. Let me experience. Like, I even said, like, I know when people are like, do this is going to help or whatever. It's like, let me make the first mistakes if I want to. If I don't want to make mistakes, I'll ask. But if I want to go through the damn drama of being like, I didn't know this was better, let me fucking do it.
Figure it out on your own.
Yeah, let me whine and complain about stuff that I messed up. I don't have to be perfect.
So yeah, another thing that really bothered me while I was pregnant, we totally got off the subject that we were supposed to talk about, but since we're already going here, let's go here. So, girl, not just people touch, it's the unsolicited advice while you're pregnant. Man, I never got so many people telling me. So, first of all, they all want to know the same thing. how far along are you?
Mm-hmm.
And I was to the point where I was literally going to get a shirt. I'm 24 weeks. It's
just
a
repeat
boy.
yourself.
Here's the name. Like, seriously. Girl, the amount of people who feel the need to tell you while you're pregnant. Girl, I was at Publix one time. I'll never forget. I was like 30 something weeks pregnant. I was looking at BOGO ice cream. I wasn't even gonna buy it. I was just looking at it. Okay, I was pregnant as hell.
I was just thinking about it. I wasn't gonna do it.
Girl, and some old lady came up to me, and I remember Mike was in the checkout line, and she told me, she was like, she said something. I can't remember exactly what she said. She said something along the lines of like, the last thing I needed was ice cream.
Really?
And I started crying hysterically at Publix. It was the one at Largo too. Largo, Pinellas County over there. It was that one right there. I started crying. I was like, what do you mean? Like, all I wanted was some damn ice cream. And I was pregnant as hell. Like, why couldn't I have ice cream?
Yeah.
But with some old lady, she's like, the last thing you need is ice cream. You shouldn't be eating that. And I'm like,
that is hysterical.
The amount of people who will tell you, and then their opinion on things, like, don't do this with the baby, don't do that. And I'm like, I haven't even had the baby.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about? Unsolicited advice. And then the people, once you do have the baby, like, because you would, well, I don't know if you guys are going to do it, but I did it with both kids. You walk around the little stroller thing, you put a blanket over the top so people aren't like,
oh, to like cover them?
People will peer inside.
Really?
Yes.
The audacity, girl.
The audacity of people. I'm going
to go to jail with the damn baby, apparently.
They'll go in there and they will like move stuff aside to go look in there, or you'll see people like.
I've done that. I've like tried to sneak a peek like from like a distance to see, because sometimes I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if it's a baby or a dog inside. So I get excited over both. I just want to know what it is. And sometimes if you do make a little bit of noise, like pss, 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 the dog will peer out, and then I'm like, yes, I didn't have to do anything.
That's all I need is some random weird woman going pss, 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 to my baby.
But I would never like touch someone else's stuff. Thing. Yeah. Even like, so Corinne obviously gave birth, my best friend.
Touching the baby too. Oh, Lord Jesus. Sorry, that was loud for y'all. I'm sorry.
God. Corinne had her baby, newly baby. I think when I met her, she was a couple of months old. I was so nervous. I didn't ask to touch the baby at all. I waited till Corinne was like, do you want to hold her? Because I don't want to be that annoying person that's like, let me hold the baby. Because like, I see that that's an argument for a lot of people when people want the baby back and then people are fighting you with it. And I don't want to be that person. So I never asked to hold the baby because I was like, that's how I would like to be treated. And she offered for me to hold the baby, and I was like, yeah. She's like, I just need you to put like hand sanitizer like on your arms and your hands and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, but like it was around COVID, so I understood. And I remember holding the baby, and then we had another friend who was like, oh, can I have the baby next? And I was like, you're gonna have to ask the mom. I was like, oh no, I'm not getting into this. I was like, I want to make sure that I'm not doing anything to make her uncomfortable. And I was like, and this is my best friend who is obsessed with me. Like, I can imagine with people who like you're not as close as to like be open and honest. And I already prepared everyone around me, anyone that we've talked to like about like having a baby and stuff. And I'm like, I'm just gonna let you know right now, I'm gonna have rules. You should. And if y'all don't follow it,
you don't hold the baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, who are you to say someone's rules about their child is like too much, or you don't think that it's appropriate or whatever? Yeah. Like that's their fucking baby. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you're like, you're only allowed to wear the color blue while holding my baby. If that's what you want to do, that's your baby. Like, and if you don't like it, you don't have to hold the baby. Yeah. Period. You can go home and wear yellow. I don't give a shit.
Go home and wear yellow.
But yeah, like oh my God. Even with Bryce, people will literally just like come up and touch your baby. Especially like this, they would always get me because I'm really good about like kind of like blocking them with my arms. At the grocery store, you get an old person behind you and there's a baby in the little front seat thing, and you go to unload your cart. They would touch Bryce's feet, or they'd be like talking to Bryce and like, touching Bryce's hands, rubbing his cheek, like all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, please don't touch my kid. I
just hope to God it happens once so I could just grab that old person's nose and be like, hey, look now.
There was a couple times, and I would slowly like pull the cart. Yeah. I'm at the back of the cart, like unloading my groceries, like pulling him up, like ha ha ha, like trying not to be rude. Mm-hmm. Because I also like try to keep in mind it's a generational thing. Like back in the day, it doesn't matter. But just trying to keep in mind that yes, please make it known, don't touch my kid. But I also like understand times were different back in the day, and it was more accepted. And old people just don't want to adjust.
Old people be stressing me out though, because even when Michael was 3 years old, it used to, I don't know if I ever told you this before. I know I told Mike. It used to irk me, like drive me insane, where I would have Michael with me and people would go and talk to him. Mm-hmm. Like just start talking to him. And I would have to like slowly, but like a little bit like roughly like snatch Michael behind me. Like, who the fuck told you that you can just talk to him? It's
He's
one thing
3.
to be like, oh my God, he's so cute. And then like talk to me and acknowledge me first before you talk to him. But full on starting a conversation with a 3-year-old, like that used to drive me insane. Cause like Michael also loved giving out his information and address like nobody's business. And I would not be paying attention and doing something. And now I have to go back over here and be like, Michael, get over here. Like,
Yeah. And it's such a catch-22 because, you know, you need to tell your kid your address and your phone number. Like Bryce just learned my phone number last week for safety reasons. Like if something were to happen and he is lost somewhere, he needs to be able to tell someone what his mom's phone number is and where he lives. At the same time, kids will also shout that shit from the rooftops.
And I just never got, like, even when, like, I pass by babies and stuff and the babies are waving or saying
I
hi,
always
I'll
wave.
say hi back.
I will wave to a
But
baby.
I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh my God, and how old are you? Like,
Yeah.
I would ask the mom, oh my God, she's adorable. How old is she? You know, like, talk to the parent. Like, I just hate it when people would just talk to Michael and I'm like, you're not starting a conversation. And then I look rude because I just pulled Michael away and they're just looking at me and I'm like,
they're like, I wasn't going to do anything. I'm like, well, then don't fucking talk to a child.
Like, you're a stranger. I don't care if you're a 90-year-old stranger and there's
Yeah.
no way you could physically pick him up to steal him, but you're a stranger nonetheless.
And you got to remember, like, these moms, us, like, I just had the conversation. I was telling Tiffany the other day, had the stranger danger conversation with Bryce.
Yeah.
We, as parents, the majority of us are teaching our kids not to talk to strangers for their own protection and their own safety. And then you have all these people going up to kids
and wanting to talk to them
and showing them, like, oh, strangers aren't that bad. And I'm not saying that you need to be rude to every single child that you see, but I'm saying, like, I don't know. It pisses me off too.
Yeah.
Like, don't talk to my kid. Like, if I see a baby and a baby's waving at me, I think it's hella rude not to wave back at a baby.
I do be waving.
I'd be waving.
Remember that one time at Disney?
But I'm not going
waving to everyone and no one was just paying a response.
I know, that pissed me off so bad because it hurts their feelings. Like, Bryce was waving to everybody and no one was waving back. And I was like, I will fight you. I swear to God.
Like, just wave.
Just wave. You don't have to go up and, like, tell your whole life story.
You know.
Just hi. And then you move along, you know?
It's too many catch-22s, but
I'd rather my kids be safe than sorry.
It's going to be a very interesting time.
I know. Very interesting school year. The stranger danger talk was...
And that's the thing now, is trying to switch to be even extra protective with the kids. I mean, we even talked when you were like, is this like too strict or am I being too much? And it's like, you can't be too much anymore because you don't like know like what's enough. I was telling Megan all the things she needs to do, like to pack in the kids' bags for safety. And these poor kids are going to have 35-pound bags, not for their supplies, but for their protection.
I know. Like, it's you don't want to scare your kids, but you also don't want them to be
oblivious.
Yeah. Like, because these things happen.
And you can't tell them what's going on. Like, every single time when I tell Michael, like, this is a stranger, I'm like, don't trust this. Like, when we go through Halloween, that, like, the kids get candy. And every single time there was a candy that was slightly opened or maybe not wrapped at all. And I told Michael, I was like, throw it away. Yeah. And he was like, but why? It's just candy. And it's like, I'm, like, not trying it. Or candy that I've never even heard of that I'm like, what the fuck is this brand? Yeah. I would also throw it away. And he'd get upset. I'm like, how do I expect him? Like, I was like, there could be drugs. It could be something. I'm like, I don't know, because you can't trust anyone. No, 100%. We had a neighbor once, and it was a nice neighbor. Mike and I, like, knew them a little bit, but, like, not really. They were inviting Michael and our neighbor's child over for, like, snacks and stuff, and then Michael was trying to go over there, and I was like, no. And he was like, but they were just giving us a snack, and I was like, I don't give a damn. And he was like, you say hi to them all the time. I'm like, yes, I know their first name and I say hi. They're still a stranger. And that's what I was telling you. I was like, even, family can hurt you and stuff like that. I was like, how do you explain to children that anyone can hurt you?
That's literally the talk that we had in school today. I mean, Michael went into 6th grade. So I give the talk every single year. And I up the details as needed, because obviously I'm not going to tell the same thing to Bryce that I told Michael. Michael had a little more advanced talk this year since he is entering 6th grade, and Bryce had the very like mellow basic version. But I was talking to Michael about how, so in their buildings are on opposite sides of the school. They go to a magnet school, so it's K through 8. So they are in the same school this year. Bryce is on one side of the school, Michael's on the other. And I told Michael, I was like, you need to walk Bryce to class every single day. You got time in the morning, we're dropping you off early enough. You make sure Bryce gets not in his hallway, inside his classroom. And he's like, well, what if Bryce eventually knows how to go there? I was like, I don't give a shit if he can do it backwards with his eyes closed. I was like, there's people at school that can hurt you or him who's very naive, and they know he's naive. You can fight back and say no. Like, Bryce literally just had the bare minimum talk just to get him through an open communication with me if something were to happen. He's like, but what do you mean? I was like, just because they're at your school doesn't mean you can trust them. And I'm like, and that's just the truth.
Yeah.
Like, people in your family can hurt you. People, police officers, like, just because they have a title doesn't mean that you should trust them. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. You need to be extra cautious. And the only people you can trust are the people in your family. And if a doctor is in there with your parents in there saying it's okay, there should be no other reason for anyone to be looking anywhere or asking about anything or taking pictures anywhere. Anyone does, even if they ask. I don't care if they do it. You come and let me know. Yeah. Period. I'll take care of it.
No, I agree. Even when people ask, when we were all talking about the story of Michael breaking his leg, how like I didn't feel comfortable washing him or having him naked, because I'm like, I get that people are like, oh, but you're like his parent, but it's like, but at the same time, like legally I'm not. And I'm like, and there's just some things that like I don't ever want my kids to think that they can be comfortable with every single person. Like anyone can be dangerous, including family, not family, close friends, and stuff like that. And it's just reminding him of the whole like, keep it personal. It doesn't matter who it is.
And have open communication with your parents, because I don't want him to think either that if something were to happen,
that he can't say something,
that he's going to get in trouble because it did. And that was what I said too. I was like, it's not your fault. Things can happen, and that's fine. Whether it doesn't matter what you said, you're a child, because some people, they be tricking people into thinking that they wanted it too and whatever. Yeah. I'm like, you're not going to get in trouble. I just need to know. I'll take care of it once you tell me that you are not going to get in trouble. You're not going to, you come tell me, and I promise you I'll take care of it.
Yeah. Period. And just letting the kids know, because it's such a weird thing. Like, I feel bad, like, to even think about, like, having
we need to add a trigger warning to this, just for the record. Okay.
Just remind me, because I'll forget. Just reminding people to, like, talk to the kids that it could be anyone. Like, anyone that makes you feel uncomfortable, like, just say it. And it, like, it sucks to even say, like, even if your parents make you feel uncomfortable, or your siblings, like, the people that are closest to you, like, you still have to tell someone. Like, no one is safe.
Boundaries are good for everybody.
It sucks to bring that up, because, we were joking around when we said, like, telling Bryce that he can't talk to strangers, and his teacher's gonna like hand him the assignment. He's gonna be like, I told my mom told me I can't give you anything. Like, to explain it, that it's not everything, it's certain things, without really saying that it's sexual and stuff like that. Because I mean, we avoid saying that specific word and just like beat around the bush so they don't know what that word is.
Well, I think some things are age appropriate, and just to get the certain areas that shouldn't be looked at or touched. I mean, that's all Bryce basically knows, right? I mean, I can't go
Bryce
into
got a
like
nickname for it.
Oh yeah, we're not getting into that. Which we gotta change that around, because let's say something does happen, that's not gonna hold up in court. But that's a whole different thing.
It's just crazy.
It's crazy. Scary. It's very scary.
Everyone has an opinion. Everyone is.
I'd rather be overly cautious, than have something happen and be like, I wish I would have done things differently. And that's what I'm trying to explain to my husband right now, is he's very like, oh, well, when I was his age, I was, walking to school by myself. And, oh, you need to stop having the leash so tight. I'm like, God forbid something happens. At least me, I'll be like, well, I did everything I could, rather than something happening and me being like, oh, man. And then my child's life is ruined. I would rather be super tight and then nothing happen, rather than like loose and then being like, damn, I wish I would have done things differently.
And I think that's what makes it so difficult with people who want to give their opinions, or people who are in an older generation, to be like, this is all completely different. And then everyone has to deal with so many different things. So it's like, I can't read a freaking whatever parenting or those pregnancy books that they have of like what you should do type of thing, because there's so many different scenarios. It's not like how it used to be. Like there was one book, Mike had a pregnancy book, and it was basically saying like how to have like your baby sleep and stuff, and like where to put things. And like now no one puts anything in the fucking crib type of thing. It's like, it's so confusing.
Everything is so different too. Like, each person's different. I mean, you and I are going to be very different mothers. So I can give you the advice that worked for me, but it might not work for you and your baby, Take it with a grain of salt. Some advice is really good. But if it doesn't work for you, don't feel bad.
Yeah.
And if it does work, then I'll take $5.
I'll take $5.
Damn.
No, I completely agree. Even like something as little as Mike and I used to get into arguments of whether we wanted to figure out the like gender in advance or not.
Oh, that's a hell yes for me.
Girl, he was like, I need to know. And I was like, well, we could do it like as a surprise. He's like, oh, hell no. He's like, I can know and you cannot know. And I was like, no, it should be a surprise. And we were just arguing, and I was like,
why would you not want to know?
I don't know. I feel like I'm like, both ways.
Mike and I also have like really bad anxiety though.
I know. I think he fucking doesn't like surprises. He's like, tell me or we're not going, you know?
That's me too.
The one surprise that I did for him, we were like arguing to the point where he's like, I just want to go home. And I was like, damn, I'm like trying to surprise him. So obviously I'm having to lie, which was like upsetting him. And I was like, you suck at trying to do surprises.
That's literally me. Like my husband knows not to ever give me a surprise. You know not to give me a surprise because it's just not a good time for me. It makes my anxiety a 10 and then I just can't even enjoy myself. Like just tell me what's gonna happen, and I can act surprised. Do you need it for the photo?
I'm a fake it.
Oh my god, I had no idea. I
We
couldn't do that with the gender either. Because I need to be prepared. I need to have the room set up. I need to have everything together. The clothes for the hospital. Like
Girl,
I can't.
No, I'm gonna play devil's advocate right now. That's what he said. He was like, we need specific things, and he's like, we're not gonna be prepared. And I was like, bro, there is gender neutral clothing like up the ass. You're gonna have gender neutral
and then buy everything after your baby's born.
I mean, it's just colors, you know? So I'm on both ways because I wanted the surprise aspect of like a special thing of like not knowing.
Girl,
and then you like find out.
Baby.
Everyone else wants to know apparently.
I'm gonna start buying clothes today.
And then I wanted to know.
She's not pregnant. No,
I'm not. We always have to say that every single time we hypothetically speak.
It's a joke.
And then like I want to know because obviously I'd like to know if you did jinx me with a fucking boy or I got like with the girl and stuff. And I'm just back and forth all the time. And I tell Mike all the time, like, it's not that we argue or we disagree about the fact that it's like, I want him to remember too, which is a thing that maybe other people go through. I don't know, because it's not his first baby and it's mine. Trying to remember to remind him that like, I need to go through some first moments without being like, I already did this or I know what this works. Yeah. That's why I was like, I don't know like how I want to do it. And he's like, no, we should do it like this. This is how we found out like with Michael. And I was like, yeah, but I was
it's
like,
not
we
the
don't.
Same.
I don't know if I want to know yet. And I was like, and I should be the one who decides. And I was like,
I can see that. You're the one holding the baby.
Yeah. And there's like a lot of things that I was like, I don't know how I want to do everything just yet.
So which doctor are you planning? Where are you planning on going?
You.
I would need the number of your OBGYN. So
I don't even know. Like, I know if anyone does know, like, I want to be like the first person to know, but like the gender reveal parties and stuff like that, like I don't even know if I would want to do that.
Well, you're gonna have to tell me or your mom beforehand because how are we gonna throw it's a girl or boy party? I didn't know a gender reveal party. Are you planning on having one of
those?
those?
That's why I said I don't know.
Because I never had one of those.
I don't know either. Because like I mean, a lot of people say like it's stupid to do a gender reveal party and then do like a baby shower because it's essentially like two things. And like I get that.
No, you have your gender reveal party. Well, this is I never had either, but this
I would say you didn't have a gender reveal, you had a baby shower.
I did.
Yeah.
I had a beer and diaper party both times. But let me tell you how I would do it. Let me live hypothetically. This is how I would do it if I were you. I would have a gender reveal party and have it be kind of like a beer and diaper party where, everyone drinks except for you.
Love that.
And then everyone brings diapers, which, is you're going to need a shit ton of diapers. So everyone bring a pack of diapers, right? And then you find out the sex of the baby and then you have a baby shower. And that's when people bring toys and clothes and stuff, depending on the gender.
Yeah.
And you get 2 fucking parties, bitch.
If
I could do it again, that's how I would do it, I think.
After this whole Moms of Tampa party, I was like, I'm not planning any
you don't
more
have
parties.
to do anything. You have people that would throw it for you.
That gives me anxiety too.
Girl, but you give me not knowing the gender of your baby doesn't give you anxiety.
No, I keep going back and forth on it, whether I would like to do like a surprise thing or not.
I think this is your first baby. I think with the second one, you might be like, meh, I don't care. But your first one, you're going to be like, I want to know.
No, Mike's like, you could say, what did he say? He was saying something. He's like, I don't care if you don't want to know or not. He's like, but I'm going to look at the damn sonogram and figure it out myself. I was like, you damn creep.
Yes, because you can. Because I remember seeing Michael's little, his thing, and I cried because I knew I'm telling you, I was so sick. Like, I really thought I was having a girl. Mm-hmm. I would have bet my whole life savings on it. Like, I knew for a fact I was having a girl. And I looked on the sonogram, and I literally looked at the doctor, and I was like, that's a penis. And the doctor was like, yeah, it is. And I'm like, oh, I'm like crying. And he's like, she's so happy. And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that is too. Oh, my God, speaking of that. Completely off topic because I know people have asked me and people on social media have asked me, and I think you've asked me before, like, would you be upset if it was like a boy? Mm-hmm. Some of these TikToks that I've seen at the gender reveals when the women see it and they're like, no, and they're just so mad. Like, it
crying.
It makes me laugh. It makes me laugh because like I don't think that they're gonna hate that baby any less. But like, I can understand to like kind of be disappointed, especially for some of these women who have all boys or all girls, and then they get another one.
Yeah.
It's like, damn. And it cracks me up because some people are so mean in these comments, and I'm like, she can be mad if she wants to. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
I'm gonna say right now, whether or not we film a gender reveal in the future, if the first thing is a boy, I'm gonna look at you and I'm gonna be like, you fucking bitch.
Maybe I won't go.
It's for all the men, because Megan says in every single thing, I'm manifesting a girl, and I'm gonna be like, manifestation my ass.
Girl, you know what's gonna suck is I probably shouldn't be the one to know, because you're gonna look at me and I'm gonna be like, if it's a girl, I'm gonna be like this.
I know.
If it's a boy, I'm gonna be like, yeah, we're throwing a gender reveal party.
And if I ever get, lucky enough to have 2 twins and they're 2 boys, I'm coming after you. You better run. You better haul ass, because I'm gonna beat you with whatever's around.
You better find some new friends. I can't deal with 2 more boys. Absolutely not.
I can't either.
Absolutely.
You're like, damn, we were all talking about a girl and it's not just one boy, but 2 boys. You were the first one I'm going after, because Mike won't even say who it is. Like, he doesn't care, he said. But you're the one who keeps manifesting this girl.
Is it the man's side that decides the gender? It is. I would beat Mike first, because he already had a boy. Like, his track record shows boy.
Is that who it is? It's a man?
I think so.
Yeah, but your dad had you and then 3 other boys.
Yep.
So like, is he a boy carrier and you just slipped out somehow? And
no, you don't only have one, you idiot.
Then how does it fucking work?
The semen are either male or female.
I know, but like,
I think they're all male, and then like it turns into a female, right? Like XY and Y.
Oh, don't bring up science on here. You know that I don't know this.
Everyone starts out. Oh, they all start out as female, I think, and then you get turned into a male. I don't know. I failed science.
I didn't fail science. I'm not gonna be quoted on this shit. It's a no for me.
And then we turn into females.
I don't know. It might be males to females, because I could see you a boy and you just last minute grew some long hair.
I think we all start out as females, and then something splits and we turn to males.
I don't know.
Girl, I gotta Google this.
Either way, I'm a blame Megan for all the times that she said that it was going to be a girl.
I would blame Mike. I had nothing to do with the conception.
Mike was the one. He said he didn't care. In the beginning, he did say that he wanted a girl, but then he was like, there might be a 50-50 chance. And he's like, I'm not going to care. But he did say
he's like, been hanging out with Bryce too much. And he's like, damn.
I was telling my Megan. I'm tired. I was telling my mom that. But we had Bryce last week and the week before. Oh, it was last weekend, right? Mm-hmm. We had Bryce last weekend. He was cuddling up with your grandpa to go home with my mom.
I was like, your grandpa?
And I was warning my mom when like Bryce was cuddling. I was like, yeah, Bryce was cuddling Mike one day and fell asleep on Mike. And Mike was like, okay, we can have a baby boy. And I was like, I can't with you, you sucker. He says he doesn't care if it's like a boy or girl. He's like, please no twins. Please no twins.
I hope it is twins. I hope it's girl twins. Even it out. Even the playing field.
I don't think I would even be mad with like girl twins. But
we had my makeup
can you imagine like 4 boys running around?
No, girl, that was literally my childhood. I have 4 brothers. I have a stepbrother who moved in with us when we were 10. So I have 3 like siblings, and then I have a stepbrother that I grew up with. And girl, it was just too much.
I wouldn't want to deal with it.
The husbands too.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. We could never do family get-togethers. Like the blended family of 6 would be ended. It would break up
for sure.
Because, 6 males and 2 females.
Absolutely not.
The people who think we're alcoholics now, like
no, it would be me and Tiffany hanging out with the kids and no husbands, or the husbands taking them all, and it would just me and Tiffany, and that's it. We could not all be together.
I could not go through like a whole farting encore of laughs and jokes. No. Like it's not funny now with 2 kids and 2 husbands. It's not going to be funny with the big.
Moms of Tampa's future depends on. We'll be podcasting from 2 separate houses.
I know. Can you imagine just being in like a anywhere that we go right now, like in home or in a restaurant where we're already yelling at 4 males to be yelling at 2 more? I'd be like, and then I already blame you all the time. I'm like, who the hell brought these damn kids? I'm like, you.
I know who mine is. Who brought the husbands? That's my whole thing.
Yeah, that was
Mike and Travis. They are too much.
I cannot imagine. Maybe we could touch up on this podcast episode in the future if I ever do get pregnant and be like, I didn't mean what I said. I
know your baby boys are gonna be like, mommy.
Why are you so disappointed?
Oh my god, I can't. Well, we didn't get we don't have time, but we didn't get on the daycare, which is what I think is a great topic. We had a lot of good points, but maybe we'll do that in the next one. We got totally off track.
I know.
Sometimes I feel like that. I feel like that sometimes. We have things to say. All right, so we will see you when we get back from New York.
Again,
if you're not following us on all socials, you should at Moms of Tampa. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And if you like to drink, we got a podcast. Not podcast.
But wow, no, you're messing up. We have a happy hour channel.
We do have happy hour channels.
Moms of Tampa happy hour.
Across all platforms.
Y'all love anything beauty related. We have a beauty channel, Moms of Tampa Beauty. Pretty simple. Can't miss it. Type in Moms of Tampa and all three should show up.
Yeah. Moms Tampa happy hour is everywhere. Moms Tampa Beauty is only on TikTok and Instagram.
Yes. And like always, don't forget to leave us a comment and a review. If you are watching us on the podcast streaming services, we appreciate every single review to help us get uppity up. Especially there's a specific podcast platform that we'd like to get on, but we need more reviews. So,
and if you would like to hear us talk about anything, give you our opinions on it. Could be anything. Always leave it in the comment box below.
And if you know someone who can help us speak better
and get our lives
get
together,
our words properly,
let us know. Today is not that day. We will see you in episode 4.
Yep. See you guys later.
Bye.